Hello students, welcome. Welcome to MGM Educations. This is Ethics and Value class and I am here teaching you about a concept, patriotism. Patriotism, right? Deshaprema, Manobhava. Love to one's nation. It is a feeling of loving one's nation, feeling proud of your one's nation and ready to dedicate for the nation. That feeling is said to be patriotism. This concept of patriotism actually developed from 17th century, little gradually growing, and it was at the peak in the 19th century. When maximum countries were under the control of foreign countries. You see in 17th century, even with America, the 13th colony was under the control of British. And later on in 18th century, many countries are under the control of Dutch, means Denmark, and England, Germany, France. They have started their own companies and started the colonies. During this time, what happened? The race for sovereignty began. That is the freedom of nation. People ready to fight, sacrifice themselves for the nation. It was that time the era of patriotism developed. Okay. So here in this lesson, I want to tell you about the meaning of patriotism. Okay. And then I have already origin, meaning, and types and features of patriotism. I am going to explain it. Now see, as I have already told you, patriotism is love of one's nation. This captures the core meaning term in ordinary use, but it might well be considered too thin in the need of explanation. Patriotism involves a special affection for one's own country. I have already told you it's a feeling who are always ready to dedicate for the development and of the nation. When the concept of nation building actually began, in the race of nation building, people started to dedicate for their nations, for the progress. And when they were not independent, people started dedicating themselves, for the freedom of the nation. So that is what we say about freedom fighters. We tell them they are highly patriotic by nature. Okay. Now, in India, during 19th century, when the non-cooperation, civil disobedience, quit India movement started during the period of British rule, this patriotism was at the top, right? And actually, if I say the meaning of the word, it should be like this: that the word patriotism derived from the Greek word petra, which means father. Okay, father. It indicates a sentiment based upon loyalty to one's parent. Loyalty to one's parent. On the basis of this word Petra, okay, emerged from the Greek word patriots. Right? This Petra word came from the Greek word patriots. Patriots means a fellow countryman. A fellow countryman. And the word patria, which refers to the fatherland, okay, or country. Today's definition of patriotism is something like this: the character or the passion of a patriot, love or jealous devotion to one's country. As per the Oxford Dictionary, this is the meaning given. Okay. Now, if you think about this patriotism, it can be said that on one hand, patriotism, the patriotic deeds have always been highly praised in a nation. On the other, patriotism has often been seen as the root of all evils. See, patriotism has often been seen as the cause of war also. It is the negative effects of the patriotism. Okay. Due to patriotism, nationalistic feelings will be very high, which may cause war-like situation, conflicts, prejudice, and all these things will be taking place here. And we have seen in 20th century, a number of wars are likely to take place due to this. And in 19th century also, we have seen the World War, like World War First, World War Second, and some other small wars, or the war between, Palestine, Israel, and Yugoslavia war. You have seen many wars, and all these things are not due to any other things, due to this patriotism, which gives rise to the feeling of aggressive nationalism, and that will cause the war. So, patriotism has its positive side and negative side, right? So, it in the way help the protection of country on one hand from foreign aggressions, and on the other hand, inside the country, patriotism feeling make one to dedicate for the nation, and it will help us for nation building. Yes, nation building, right? So, it is also defined in a different way. A core definition, I am telling you now, you listen. A core definition of patriotism is attachment of a group of members towards their group and the country in which they reside. Okay, so it's a kind of attachment, what the definition tells here. Attachment here means a binding affection between person or group of person and the person with that of the land where he or she lives in, right? Thus, we find that in every ethnographic group which has an attachment to the certain geographical place, this attachment is associated with emotions and expressed through the beliefs, denoting the content of love, loyalty, pride, etc. of their own land where they live in. Okay. So, the basic element of patriotism is the desire to belong to a group, feeling that we are belonging to one group, one race, one nation, like this. Patriotism or patriots wanted to be part of their group and define themselves as a member of it, and felt some kind of we-ness. Means we one group, we-ness. That's very important. So that is the feeling that it creates, and creates the bondage among all the citizens of one geography, right? So from past day to till today, we have seen different phases of patriotism in different countries for different objectives, right? So it it was highly seen, particularly during the period of 19th century, before First World War and before Second World War. Okay. Now let us discuss about the types or and the nature of patriotism. So far, the types of patriotism concerned, we can classify into two: positive patriotism, right? That means the constructive patriotism, and another is negative patriotism. We can say that is blind patriotism. And both are no doubt more or less dangerous, but blind patriotism is very dangerous in the sense that it deals with unwillingness of listening criticism towards one's nation, and in going against another nation if necessary to protect their own interest. That's why blind patriotism is more or less dangerous. Constructive patriotism allows you, there is a willingness to receive the criticism and tell the criticism against any other country for the betterment of both the countries. So it is quite optimistic by nature, and the previous one is pessimistic. And the next concept is the nature of patriotism, how and the role of patriotism in nation building. In the current era, it's an important concept that unless and otherwise you have the patriotic feeling from within you, not artificially added one, then naturally you will help nation building. But before going to know the sense of patriotism what is nation building, you must have to know. So here, nation building means all-round development of the nation, and a patriot person can give his full hand support for the all-round progress of a country, social, political, economic, religious, cultural, every field, in every domain, he will give a big hand to his nation, right? So here, patriotism, when the love for one's nation comes, then we are ready to go for any limit of sacrifice possible for the building of the nation, for the development of education, you say, for the development of health, you say, for the well-being of the nation and the people, you are prepared to do something, you say. This comes from within the heart only when you are patriotic by nature. And the value system of India also speaks of this to be very much patriotic, or must have the constructive patriotism inside you, which is the backbone for the development of the nations and states. Respecting groups statement, okay, observing the constitutional values, performing the duty as a good citizens are the prerequisites of patriot. Remember this. And blind patriotism is hazardous for nation building. So while writing, students, while writing the nation building, you have to mention the impact of blind patriotism, also constructive patriotism. Here we have to much focus on the constructive patriotism rather than the blind patriotism, right? So what would this patriotism will help in the development of the nation from all around, or structuring a nation's identity. The term nation building can be regarded as employing and the resources of the state for improving the production and all other developments which will help people to progress, nation to grow, and to create a new identity in the international field. It will help you. That's why. So nation building concept is also very important for you for short question. Patriotism, its meaning and origin is very important, and types of patriotism you have to know to support the answers. And the rise of patriotism from 17th to 19th century is also a big area you have to focus on. Okay, students, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. You will get other ethics and value videos, right?